Hi, and welcome back to the Ready for Remodel Show, where we preview fixer-upper homes that we find on the internet and show you how to buy a fixer home with a fixer loan and create your dream home. So not only can you buy a home as your primary residence, you can also buy it as a second home or an investment property. So today, I was perusing on the internet and I found a unique opportunity in Hawaii. So I don't know, if you're like me, you're probably tired of getting cooped up, being cooped up because of the coronavirus, and you would love to get out of Dodge, get out of town, and maybe spend some quiet time. Well, this property is a unique property that's right on the beach in Hauula, Hawaii, which is in Oahu, which is the northeast shore. And the place needs a lot of work, but it's a small and it looks like a great opportunity. So let's go over to my computer and check it out. So there it is. Imagine your backyard is the beach that looks just like that, with a beautiful tree in your backyard as well. So there's the front. The front doesn't look quite as good as the backyard, but it's got tremendous potential and it's priced right. I mean, where can you buy a beachfront property for under $500,000, especially in Hawaii? So this is the property. The good news is it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. Looks like it needs a lot of work. And it has a full basement. And so there's what the inside looks like. Not much to it. Looks like it needs a kitchen. I'm sure there's not even a picture of the bathroom or any of the bedrooms, but it's a blank slate. And with, I believe, a couple $100,000, $200,000, you can probably use the shell and fix it up and make it into a nice place. There is the basement. So you can see it's a huge basement, and that has potential as well. That's the street that it's on, and I want to show you the location. So it's right here on the beach, and pulling back, you can see it's right on Oahu, and just right around the corner you got Honolulu. I have no idea how long it would take to drive into Honolulu, but it looks like it's a little bit of a drive. So and let's look at the financing part of it. I pulled up and looked at a couple scenarios. So there's different ways to do this. As I mentioned, you can buy it and live in it as your primary residence. You can buy it and have it as a second home. And you can probably even scrape what's there, leave the foundation, leave the basement, and build an entire new home. So I've ran a couple different scenarios. So this first scenario is the purchase price of $420,000 with $200,000 in home improvements with a 5% down payment. This is if you're gonna pick up and move to Hawaii and live there permanently. And I'll tell you, I'm sure a lot of us are considering that, especially with the ability to work remotely from home, whether your home is in Los Angeles or San Francisco or Hawaii. If you got a phone and an internet connection, you can probably work from home. A lot of people will be able to. So 5% down of the purchase price plus the renovation costs. So when you look at this whole scenario, the down payment and the closing costs are less than $45,000, $43,298 for your down payment and closing costs. and your total monthly payment is $38.35. That includes principal and interest on the loan, property taxes, homeowners insurance, and mortgage insurance. Keep in mind, you are going to have mortgage insurance because you're putting less than 20% down. So here's another scenario. This is also with the sales price of $420, $200,000 in repairs, but you're buying it as a second home, and the pricing is a little higher, not much. The rate is still the same, 4 1/8, but instead of less than a half a point, you're paying almost 3/4 of a point. And that has effect on your closing costs. And this scenario with a second home, you can get in with just 10% down. So the purchase price of $420 plus the $200,000 in home improvements, you add that together, your down payment is 10% of that plus closing costs. That's about $76,000, not quite 77. And then your total payment is $3,661.55. The other scenario is, let's say you had a greater down payment and you wanted to avoid paying mortgage insurance. The same scenario, buying it as a second home and doing $200,000 in home improvements with a 25% down payment. Again, the rate is the same, but the pricing is about the same as your owner occupied scenario. And the monthly payment is only $28.43 because you're avoiding mortgage insurance, and your down payment is $171,000, but you've got a much lower monthly payment, and you're not paying any mortgage insurance. And then this last scenario is if you wanted to do basically scrape it, and for $500 a square foot, you should be able to rebuild an 800 square foot house and do it real nice. And so this scenario is a 20% down scenario as a second home. Again, the same rate, 0.6 discount points. The total monthly payment is $38.63, and the cash to close is under $200,000. So, I mean, imagine this: you buy this house on the beach in Hawaii for $420,000. Your total down payment and closing costs is less than $200,000, but then after you close escrow, you get $400,000 to completely rebuild that house. And again, your monthly payment is less than $4,000 a month. And that's great scenario, whether you're going to live in it forever or just as a second home. And you can probably Airbnb it out for most of the year. I mean, who would not want to rent or live right on the beach? So again, I'm Skip Shanker, and I could be reached on my toll-free number, 800-385-3503, or my cell. Actually, my email address is sshanker@loandepot.com, and my website is loandepot.com/sshanker. And if you're interested in buying a fixer home with a fixer loan and would like some information, I'd be happy to help you. Or if you're a listing agent who's selling a distressed property who would like to have me promote their listing on the Ready for Remodel show, feel free to reach out to me, 800-385-3503. And until the next Ready for Remodel show, you take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on the beach.